Welcome to the Show Me the Way podcast. I am your host, Andrea Miller, alongside a dear, dear friend, Tammy Thompson, and we are so excited to bring this podcast to you. Show Me the Way podcast is a podcast dedicated to exploring the journeys of those who have faced adversity and found themselves on unexpected paths. We will have meaningful, thoughtful conversations about challenges we have faced and how we discovered and forged new direction. Prepare to be inspired and to uncover your own strength as you listen to relatable and motivating stories. Life has a way of twisting and turning, and we often need a fresh perspective to understand how to navigate. Let's show each other the way. In this uplifting and inspiring episode, we sit down with Lauren Richeson, a wife, mom, author, coach, leader, and direct sales professional. Lauren shares her journey, starting with her early career as a teacher and her transition into a Mary Kay consultant. Initially, she thought she'd continue climbing up the ranks within Mary Kay and make it her lifelong career. However, Lauren felt a deeper calling and realized she had more to offer. Leaning on her faith, she sought clarity through prayer and followed the signs pointing her toward her dreams. Despite her fear of public speaking, she bravely pursued speaking engagements, which opened doors to life-changing connections. These experiences inspired her to become an author and a coach. She's now helping others step out of their comfort zone, chase their own dreams, and also embrace their writing goals. Lauren used her background in education and her personal journey to guide others, breaking free from limitations and shining in her true purpose. Her story is a powerful reminder to trust your instincts, embrace growth, and live the life you're meant to lead. Tune in to hear Lauren's motivating story. You'll leave with a big smile and a heart full of inspiration. And with me today for the Show Me the Way podcast is my beautiful friend, Lauren Richeson. I met Lauren at a networking event a year ago, and it seems like it's been a lot longer than that. And I was so glad that I did. I always say that I believe God places people in our lives for a reason. And that's certainly true with meeting Lauren. Lauren is a speaker, a coach, a leader, an author, and also in direct sales. She's a very busy mom and definitely an inspiration to all of us mamas. And I'm so excited to have her on. So, welcome, Lauren.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so blessed to be here. I love being able to just share. And I know we were just chatting before we got on the recording here that I love just being that voice and to share to others. So, thank you for that very great introduction.
Of course.
I'm so glad that we met and how we met, and
Yes.
it kind of just all goes together. Um, and so I'm a children's book author. And well, first, I'm a wife. I'm a mom. And sometimes when I speak on stage or on panels, I introduce myself and I go, oh, wait, I'm these things. I'm a wife, I'm a mom. And, these three men are in my whole life. Like I have my two boys, 8 and 5. Life is active and we are sports family for sure. I'm a huge Detroit Lions fan. So right now I will share, I don't know if you know this about me, but I will share that I don't sit and watch the games. I pace, I walk, I stand. I just, unless I'm at Ford Field and I got to sit cuz the people behind me, I
Hmm.
am someone who just is like I'm in it.
Now, can you watch it with people in the room with you, or do you
Yes.
prefer to
Oh,
be
yeah.
alone? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I want all the people. Give me the
Oh,
people,
good.
right? So I am definitely a huge fan and we're going
It's so
places.
fun right now.
So
Yes.
fun. So yeah,
Yes.
so my boys, they play sports. They actually are in flag football season right now. So I'm so excited about that. I have my husband. We'll be celebrating 10 years married
Wow. This
in
year?
in June. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, 10 years, 15 years together that we're celebrating. And I'm a children's book author. I am a mindset growth coach and a writing coach for women, which I absolutely love. It is my passion, it's my purpose. I launched my Made for More coaching business this past April, and there are just exciting things that are happening that I am just ready to like unleash that God has put upon my heart. And I know there's a reason why these things are placed upon my heart. So y'all get ready.
That's
Yeah. So
amazing.
super excited about that. And then my next thing I like to share is how me and Andrea met too. I am a a community role leader for moms in business of Northern Macomb and Oakland area here in Michigan. And I love networking. I love being part of groups that have community and uplifting and encouragement. And it's always the collaboration over competition. Me and Andrea met at a community called Empowered Moms, and it was great. It was at a coffee shop, and we just hit that off. And of course, me being sharing out, I was like, oh, like I know communities with moms and women and things like that. And I absolutely love that I said yes to that community role leader position back in August of 22. It's completely changed my life and the people I've met to where I am today. I also am the co-founder of WeRise.co, which is a women empowerment community here in the Metro Detroit area with my co-founder, Stacey Crown. And to top it off, I am also a Mary Kay beauty consultant in the direct sales. So that'll be 10 years in my business in April. I like to say I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, but I also will say that I didn't have all this 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, I thought I was spinning plates on my own by just having just my Mary Kay business. I was in leadership. I then moved out of leadership in April 2023. And that's where I decided that I wanted to do more.
Mhm.
And that's where I decided to write my first children's book. And that's what just lifted off my knowing that I am made for more and I want to do more things and what that would now turn into.
This reminds me of the first time I heard you speak, and I was like, "Wow, this woman, she's super mama. She does so much." And I think a lot of us, we enjoy wearing a lot of different hats and expressing ourselves. And I love how you said "made for more" because we have so much within us that we can share, and you have so many gifts. And I'm very excited to hear more about where this path led. I want to say a couple things first. Yes, Empowered Moms is where we met, and some of our listeners that have been following remembered that we spoke with Emily Jacobs. And so we were very excited that we were able to have her as one of our first guests. And then Lauren, love having these empowered moms, these moms that are making a difference and are helping other moms do the same. So yes, we had Emily on. That is her group. Lauren is a big part of that as well. And they're connected. And just when Lauren got up and introduced herself, I thought, I want to do some things like she's doing. And so it was really fun to meet her then. I also love that we're both boy moms, although your boys are younger. Mine are too old. You're probably thinking that too, and they're a lot younger than my boys. It just goes so fast, right?
It's so fast. I said my oldest turned 8. I'm like, he's halfway to driving.
Oh
Like he's
gosh.
getting his license. And then my 5-year-old, I'm like, he's gonna be 5.5 at the end of this month. I'm like, well, I just had you.
I
Like it's
know.
just wild.
It blows your mind for sure.
Yeah.
Mine one is going to be 19 this year and the other will be 16 this year. So
Oh my gosh.
So treasure those moments, which I know
I
you're
know,
doing,
girl.
and I love that you're a sports mom. I'm the same. So yeah, lots of similarities here. I also want to point out that usually my partner Tammy is on with us, jumping in occasionally, but she is busy today. But it's okay. Lauren and I we're gonna get through this, and Tammy will jump back when she's available. So thanks so
Yeah.
much for being here, Lauren. You shared a lot so far, and I kind of have an idea of which direction we're going, but I would love for you to share a time or these times in your life where you thought you were on one path and then something happened and you needed to pivot and what that looked like and what you learned from it.
Yeah. So I love this question because before having kids, I was a teacher. So I taught kindergarten for 5 years. So I was education. That's what I got my degree in. I'm an elementary education, my bachelor's, and a major of language arts, and a minor in child development and reading and integrated studies. I think that's what it was called.
Okay, wow.
Did I think when I graduated college, we're, get the job, get the things. Do you think I thought I'd be where I am today? Just celebrated my 38th birthday. No. For one, I like loathe public speaking. Even though I was a teacher, like I
Mhm.
could teach to my kids all day long, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. But I had that lack of self-confidence of myself of talking in front of my peers. And that wasn't until I started growing my Mary Kay business and presenting skincare classes and talking to women I've never met before, except maybe the hostess. And that just really grew my personal growth. And I will always thank my Mary Kay business for that and where I am today. And I will take you back to a time where I thought that my direct sell company business, my Mary Kay business, would be the end all. Like I thought I am only this. And I always picture myself and I say, I was in a box.
Mhm.
And like I felt stuck. I felt lost. I felt what else is my purpose here? I absolutely love my Mary Kay business. I mean, I am a lifer with the product. My customers, like, I love on them, I service them. That'll never change. But the personal, like, I needed to branch out. What was that going to be?
Mhm.
And so I had a little bit of some like a breakdown with myself of saying, crying in my closet and like literally saying, God, what am I made for? What is my purpose? What is my passion? And so that was the summer of 2022. And my kids were younger. And I think I pushed myself into a hustle culture. And I just needed, I couldn't do that anymore. And so I had the opportunity um, to be the community role leader of Moms in Business. And at the time, I mean, I had met Dana, who is the leader of all Moms in Business, which, if you guys do not know, Moms in Business is an international networking group. It was formed in the UK, and it's an amazing community of women in business, moms in business. And she met me twice, and she's like, I love your story. I love your personality. I love your vibe. I love everything about you. And I'm looking to have a community role leader for the Macomb area. And I'm like, oh my gosh, a whole county of women like in business? Like, how am I going to do that? Like, what do I do? All of the what ifs and the negative thoughts and all the things. And she's like, well, just let me know. I'm like, I'm going to pray about it. And so I did. I was coming more into my faith of being that close relationship with God and just being with him. And so for a week, I prayed, and all I heard was, you need to do this. You need to say yes. This is going to bring you opportunity. This is going to bring you so many things that you are looking for. I listened, I was obedient. And that brought me to a kickoff event that I met my former life coach, who's now one of my best friends and business partner. 6 months of life coaching that I did. No one knew. Why? Because I was ashamed that I was having to help myself, because that's what we do. And I was like, I needed more. My husband didn't know. Nobody knew except my therapist that I was seeing at the time, and also my best friend and my coach. And that was it. I needed that to push me into like breaking free of those limiting beliefs of myself. 6 months of life coaching, I realized that I am made for more. I am on this path that God has shown me. I was obedient. And then I met my writing coach, and she just was like a light up in the room. And at an event that I was asked to be a keynote speaker at. Remember, you guys? I wasn't a talker. I didn't like talk in front of people. I met someone through networking for 2 hours. We met for coffee. The next day, she asked me to be a keynote speaker for a women's event for her. This is God in the making. He was pushing me to all of the limits that I said I couldn't do.
Mhm, and stepping out of your comfort zone.
Huge step out of my comfort
Mhm.
zone. I mean, huge. And so I wanted to get into speaking because I wanted to do more that I thought I couldn't do. And so I was like, yes, I will be. And then I was like, okay, now I got to think of a topic, right? And so at that women's event is where I met my writing coach. And she said that she was a children's book author. She helps women write books. I'm like, there it is. That was it. Because I always wanted, that was my ending goal, with my life coach is that I would become a children's book author. I would show up to networking events. I am a future children's book author. And then it turned into I am Lauren Richeson, a children's book author, because I believed in those words and I believed in what God was lighting my path to. And from there, I wrote my book and I self-published it, and it is now a series. So it is called Best Bros Adventures, The Mitten State. That is book 1. Book 2 is going to be launching very soon. There will be a book 3 because at the end of every story, there alludes to the next story. And I've also written a affirmation journal for moms. And I've written an activity book that complements the Best Bros Adventures Mitten State book. I also wrote this past holiday season a journal writing prompt for young authors. And those things will be self-published on Amazon very soon here. But that was the unleashing of what was made for me next. And I think back, I'm like, what if I never said yes? What if I just would have been scared and fearful? At the time, I thought I was spinning plates in my life when I needed this. I needed this other opening of a door to lead me to the people that were going to lead me to other things in my life that I, for one, didn't think I was good enough for, creative enough for, all the limiting beliefs, which then led me to wanting to become a coach myself and helping women break free of the limiting beliefs that once stopped them, to help up-level their mindset of finding and discovering their true divine purpose, passion for their life. And I did it. I decided to be bold, and I had no plan of what a coaching structure would be. And my first client, my first one-on-one client, and then my second one-on-one client, and it's just like, wow.
That box that you were in just opened up and just
I
there's
popped out
so
of that
many
box,
you
girl.
popped out.
I
Yeah,
popped
that's what
out.
I'm picturing. You're the real story of all of those like memes or all of those quotes that you see on Instagram, like don't be afraid, open the door. Like you
Yeah.
actually listened and you were intentional, and I love it. I love the
Yes.
story. Keep going.
Yeah. But the thing of it is, I prayed on it first. That was important to me. I needed to hear if there were the signs, if there were the voices that were saying to my heart, like, you need to do this because it is going to move you in ways that you can't even imagine. And it did. And, that brings me also to my writing coaching, which my former coach, Stacy Crown, she got in there and someone messaged her and was like, hey, did your friend ever finish writing that children's book? Yeah, she's self-published and she's actually a writing coach for women. And I said, you said what? I'm like, I am not a writing coach. He goes, you can be and you will be. And that referral contacted me and I said, let's do it, girl. And
Wow.
that was my first writing coaching client last spring. From that, another by me just posting on, social media, because this is our world. The content that I was a writing coach, I got my second one-on-one client. And then my third one-on-one client that I had, former client, she was referred to by a friend that I went to college with that saw me post a reel about, hey, did you know that I'm a writing coach? And like I was doing this crazy dancing, just my personality. And all 3 of those women have now self-published their dream, a dream that they sat on and waited for years, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years, that they told me they had this story and they had not done anything with it. And now their books are thriving and their confidence is thriving. They have now unleashed, and they're all beautiful stories. They're so creative and just everything. And that just takes me to, what if I would have said no? What if I would have just said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a master at being a writing coach. I don't think I can do this. All of the what ifs that could have stopped me, but not only stopped me, but stopped these women's dreams also. And that's with my current one-on-one clients right now that I'm working with mindset growth coaching and writing coaching and self-publishing consultancy. I'm here for it, and so are they. And now their dream storybooks are coming true from a simple yes and decision.
Well, also being very intentional with your prayers and your thoughts. I
Mhm,
think that messages are given to us throughout our whole lives, and stopping and being intentional and listening is so important. I think we miss it, or we
mhm.
don't walk through that open door because
Yep,
we put up our own walls. So I just think that's so inspirational that you were like, no, I really need to intentionally listen and follow what I'm hearing.
yep, yep,
That's amazing, amazing, and I
absolutely.
love how you are helping so many other people.
Yes. I mean, that is my I mean, I know I'm not teaching anymore in the classroom, but I'm still helping and servicing to women, to mothers, women of faith, and who want to do more for themselves. And you are capable of that. You are capable of doing so much more than you think you can. I do a very special exercise and a part of my mind growth coaching program with my clients that branches out their thinking of what their true divine purpose and passion could be. And every time we've done this exercise, my clients have found that. And now they are thriving in that area. And so they've turned into a new business, a new passion project, a creative outlet of what's bringing them joy and happiness. And that's my biggest mission as a coach is for my clients to just break free and to find that true passion and that purpose. Because y'all, the reality is we have this one life. And what are we going to make of it? Are we going to just sit there and just stop because we are afraid? Being afraid is a human response. It's in the flesh. But if you are someone who believes in a higher power, all things can be possible.
I love that. So,
Mhm.
so very true, and what I also really like about your story is that you have strengths. Some people will say, "Well, I went to school and I got this degree and I got this job and now I'm not using it." Well, you are. You're using it just in a different way. So, yeah, I love how
Yep,
you said, I'm no longer teaching in the classroom, but you are teaching and guiding, and you have these strengths. You've just decided to repurpose them in a way that you believe is making more of an impact in the way that you want. So, not that you weren't impacting all those little kids. I'm sure that you were an amazing teacher. You were probably the cutest teacher with the cutest little classroom. I could just imagine.
aw.
But just, taking that, your experience, your knowledge, and when you had to pivot, just taking all of that with you, but repurposing it. I think that's pretty special too. And I think a lot of us don't think we can do that either. It's like pick this or pick that. But instead of like taking what you have, your experience, and just bringing it with you as you continue to go through life. So,
100%. Yeah,
yeah, I love that.
absolutely.
So, I think you've given us a lot of perspective already, things that you've learned by doing what you're doing. That's usually my next question, like, what kind of perspective have you gained? I think you've gone into all of that, and you've even shared some of your nuggets from being a coach. But if somebody shared some things with you and said, "Gosh, you're such an inspiration. You're doing all of these things. I'm afraid I can't do that. I can't make these
Mm.
changes." What are some things that you would say to them?
Yeah, well, for one, I would definitely say, let's hop on a connection call. Let's just connect here. What are these things that you're feeling? Let's map it out. What is holding you back? What are some things that you've always wanted to do? My connection calls are always complimentary just to have that first time within my coaching, my mind growth coaching program. I also focus around self love. You need to be at a place within yourself. And there's a reason why you're having those doubts. There's a reason why you're having the limiting beliefs. And it's not just making sure everything is like the outside of self care, like the physical things that you give to yourself, like those are important, sure. But it's the internal self care. It's the self love, the self compassion within yourself, embracing who you are, releasing the self doubt, and finding these things, healing relationships. It all matters. And so that is part of my coaching program as well. And we figure out what's stemming, what's the root of where this is all coming from. I've had clients go back to like childhood and bring that, and this is why we are where I am today. And that's okay. Let's do that. Coming into your honest, vulnerable self, and you can break free. You can get to that place that you want to get to. There is hope. Trust me. Does it take work? 100%. Does it take some tears? 100%. Does it take scream outs? 100%. It takes all of that, but we get to such a better place, especially for mindset growth. Your mind is the center. You have your heart, your lungs, your breathing, everything, but your mind is a huge part of your day to day and what you want to do next. I mean, it's literally telling you what to do next, right? It's just a beautiful program to dive into.
Yeah, I'm listening to you and I have so many thoughts. I'm not asking for free coaching with Lauren. We'll for sure share all of your details and how people can get in contact with you in the show notes because I know there's so many people out there that could use this advice or use this inspiration or just stop some of their limiting beliefs so they can fulfill their passions. So I admire that so much and I appreciate you sharing some of your little nuggets. It just lets our listeners know it's a little bit of the gold that you can share with them. So appreciate you
Yeah,
doing that. And I
absolutely.
I love that you weren't afraid to also coach with the writing. I think there's all kinds of people out there that they have other limiting beliefs, but when it comes to writing a book, they're thinking, "Wow, I could never do that." So, it's really special that you said, "No, if you have an idea, we can make it happen." And I love that the people you've coached are thriving. That's awesome.
Yes. And I will say too, I was recently asked by some women that I met through networking, do you help coach and self publish with non children's books, like personal development books or personal memoirs? And I could have stopped and said no. But I said, well, it's not my current niche, but why not? So, like branching out to do those things, because I think it's still another source and having that neutral ground and that support system. And with self publishing, now I self publish with Amazon KDP. So, am I encouraging my clients to later go to a publishing house and give their work to them? 100%. But I'm helping get it out now and get it out there quicker for others to hear it, to read it, to share it with others too. So I just wanted to share that as well, that I'm open to helping anyone. And going back to what you said, like with my degree, well, I was a major in language arts. So I'm kind of using that now too with grammar and flow of text and, all those things. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when we were talking. Well, she's got this background, so there's quite a lot there. And also, again, going back to not being afraid, you're not saying like fake it till you make it. You're
Right.
saying, I'm willing to try. Let's work on this together. Let's
Yeah.
take this first step. And so I love the transparency and the openness and not trying to say I can do all things. I've got it all figured out, but no, we're going to work on this together. I think
Right.
that's also very inspiring and something that I would at least look for in a coach, someone that's open, willing to learn with you.
100%. And I am the most authentic, real. I tell how it is, but I have the sweet side. And I want to just be there. I want to be your cheerleader. I want to be your encourager. I want to be giving you the feedback and all the things. So, yeah, that's me.
So that's wonderful. Again, I will share all of Lauren's information so you can follow her and see if one of her dancing reels will inspire you to to jump on board. Everything that you said, another thing that I will compliment you with is that you've got quite a good sense of self-awareness because
Mm.
right when I met you, I would have described you the same way you just described yourself. So I think that's another thing that I wanted to point out. If you could go back in time and tell your college self something, what would you tell her?
Just just go for it. Be fearless. Who cares who's watching? Just do it and see what can actually happen.
I love that. Yeah, who cares who's watching? I wish I could go back and tell myself that too, because it's freeing when you just say, I'm going to start my own podcast and see what happens. If I have three listeners and they're my husband, my mom, and my dad, that's okay because I want to
Okay.
do it. And I believe that everybody has stories to tell. And it started with my story. And since then, gosh, we've heard so many inspiring stories. And we've heard so many times where people thought they were on one path and they had to go in a different direction. And it's been really, really empowering and great to hear and to even learn about people that I've known for years and people like you that I've only known for 1 year. Just continuing to hear your story and learn more about you is very powerful, and we're going to keep getting listeners, and they're going to go back and they're going to find the stories just as powerful. So yeah, sometimes you just need to go after it and not worry about what other people are going to think about it.
Absolutely. Just
Yeah.
go for it. Take the risks, make the big moves, even if they're small moves.
And
Just be
do you think
fearless.
you I know we keep talking about empowering women, but we're both boy moms. So do you think like your boys are young, but they're seeing you do all of these things. Do you think that that's making an impact for them too?
I hope so.
Mhm.
Yes, I know. I want them to see that their mom is doing big things. Just for an example, being an author, like that's a pretty cool thing, right?
Mm,
I've read in his classroom. He took my book. He was star student, my oldest this year. He's in
okay, I was
second
gonna say
grade.
which one?
Yeah,
Okay.
my oldest. He took my book as a star student. He was reading it, and all of his friends were like, Christian's mom's an author. It's like the biggest thing. He's my sensitive, my quiet one, and he'll give a smile here and there about it, but he's not in upward excitement. I know that's who he is, and he is proud of me. There was actually last year, there was a video, when I finished my book and it was published in print. And this was before I did my book launch last December, so it was last fall. And I he came in my office and he saw my book, the book, and he goes, "That looks like me and Caden." And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And he's like, "Is this your book?" And I had put my phone on my desk and I recorded him. And when I launched my book, I launched that onto my Instagram, so y'all can go through some of my videos and find this. It's the sweetest. And he's like, "You wrote the words?" He was just like, he was coming into it. I did this. And it was the greatest thing as a memory, as a mom, but also that I can look back on and like
Mhm.
hear his little voice. He realized that I really did write a book. And here it was. And then it's based around him and his brother. So, like, that was such a moment for me. So, I know that they are proud. I dedicated the first book to them. It's an incredible feeling, and I know later in life that I have grandkids and like this is grandma's book, and oh my gosh, so exciting. And
Yes.
more books that I plan to do and
Right,
everything. So,
right. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I love that. There's something to be said about your boys are proud of you as a
Mm,
mom, how special that is to us
yeah.
to see that they are actually recognizing the things that we're doing. And as they get older, it'll be even more special because I was thinking about today, you get like, half hugs and things change greatly as they get older. But just understanding that they see these things that you've done and that
Mhm.
you've inspired them to understand that there's unlimited possibilities for them as well. So, yes, they're young,
Absolutely.
but
Yep.
they're seeing that. So, that's
Yes.
beautiful.
100%.
Well, I love the story. I love how you weren't fearful. You went after your dreams and your passions, and you're still doing that, and you're still growing and learning and helping others. I think that's wonderful, inspirational, and I just knew you'd be the perfect guest for this show because that's what we're
Oh,
trying to do. But before I let you go, is there anything else that you think our listeners would want to know?
if you are hearing this podcast today and you were inspired and you want to connect, reach out. I would love to hear from you, whether you're in a place of feeling lost and stuck within your mindset, reach out. If you've always wanted to write a children's book and what are the steps to that? And trust me, I would say those same things to myself back in the day. Reach out. I would love to just connect and see if I can help service you with what your dreams are, your aspirations, your intentions, and to help you break free of all of that because you are capable of everything that you want to do. It just takes that belief in yourself and the encouragement and accountability 100% of not only yourself but other people who want to support you in that dream. So yeah, best place to get in touch with me is Instagram, Lauren Richeson _ that's best place to DM me. I have in the mix later a website and other things to come, but definitely Instagram is the best place.
That's great. And we will put all of that in the show notes. And yeah, excited to see where you go. And I will share from experience that you don't have to be afraid to talk to Lauren. She'll talk to you about anything. And if it's not the perfect time for you to partner, you'll start this friendship and connection so that when it is the right time, you can easily go back to Lauren. I was so grateful that you gave us some time today, and all of these very positive messages have been just very helpful. And I think it's also a great time to have this podcast because it's the beginning of the year and the possibilities are endless. So take this as an inspiration to go after some of the things maybe you've been hiding in the corner for the last couple of years or you've been keeping in a box. It's time to open it up and experience some new things. I couldn't agree more. I always say it, life is very short. You never know what tomorrow brings. So Lauren, thank you so much for everything that you shared and for being an inspiration to me and for being on today's podcast.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you for this opportunity. I am feeling so blessed to just be a guest on the Show Me the Way podcast and for others to hear and just have that hope that they can do it too. All the things. But thank you so much for this opportunity. I loved it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for the Show Me the Way podcast. We truly appreciate you tuning in to today's episode about overcoming adversity and finding your path. We hope it brought you new insights, empowered you with perspective, and inspired you to find joy in your journey. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who could use a little motivation. Until next time, keep seeking the light and showing the way.